Greetings, history lovers. Welcome to This Tweet in History, the Week in Review, podcasting to you on tape delay from our North America studios. Here are your top stories for the week ending February 27th, 2010. World, Dateline Manila, February 22nd, 1986. People Power Revolution launches in Philippines, demanding Marcos relinquish power to Aquino. The backstory. Ferdinand Marcos declared martial law in 1973, just before his term in office was to expire, remaining in office for over a decade. In 1983, he had his rival, Ninoy Aquino, assassinated, and the people rose in protest, demanding elections. Snap elections were held in February 1986, pitting Marcos against Imelda Aquino, Ninoy's widow. With Marcos declared the winner in results that were disputed by independent election monitors. The Filipino people refused to accept the results and took to the streets with yellow ribbons, thus spawning the Yellow Revolution that not only brought Aquino into power, but also inspired nonviolent demonstrations throughout Eastern Europe that ultimately brought about the fall of communism there. Sports. Dateline, New York, February 22nd, 1955. Little Mo, dominant tennis phenom, retires at 19 following riding accident. The backstory. Maureen Connolly's first love was horseback riding. Her parents, though, were unable to afford riding lessons, and instead she moved to tennis. This was a fortuitous change, as she dominated on the court, winning 56 consecutive matches at the tender age of 14, taking the U.S. Championship at 16, and winning the first Grand Slam ever by a woman at age 18, losing only one set in the 4 tournaments. With money no longer an issue, Connolly was able to pursue her first love, horseback riding. On one of these rides, 2 weeks after she won her 3rd Wimbledon title, she passed a cement mixer. The horse panicked and her leg was crushed with muscle and tendon damage. Although she hoped to return to tennis, in 1955, at the age of 19, she accepted the inevitable and retired from the game.
Sorry that it had to end this way.
Things that make you go, huh? Dateline, England, February 23rd, 1884. Sign from God, gallows work fine except when Lee's on them. The backstory. John Lee, convicted on circumstantial evidence of murdering his wealthy employer, Emma Ann Keyes, protested his innocence to the end, or what he thought was the end. At 8 o'clock one grim morning, Lee was led up to the gallows on a newly constructed scaffold with a trapdoor that had been tested moments before. When the sheriff gave the signal, the trapdoor was released, but failed to open. Lee stepped off, and the trapdoor worked. Lee was put back on top, and the trapdoor froze. Lee was taken back to his cell, and further tests were run on the trapdoor. With no one on it, it worked. With a hangman on it, it worked. Lee was marched back and put in place. The trapdoor froze. The trapdoor was planed to free it. Lee was placed upon it. The door held firm. Back Lee went to his cell. The sheriff wrote to London, where the House of Commons debated the circumstances. Eventually, Lee's death sentence was commuted to life in prison, and he was ultimately pardoned. This week's birthdays. February 21st, guitarist Andres Segovia. February 22nd, composer Frederic Chopin. February 23rd, author W.E.B. Dubois. February 24th, tenor Enrico Caruso. February 25th, painter Pierre-Auguste Renoir. February 26th, author Victor Hugo. And February 27th, Israeli premier Ariel, Sharon. Thank you for joining us for This Tweet in History, the Week in Review. Be sure to follow us on twitter.com/HistorTweet and check our archives at HistorTweet.blogspot.com.